Welcome, YouTubers. This is just a brief overview of what 50-50 sort of means. I know when you play spread games, it's supposed to be a 50-50, 50% chance of you winning and 50% chance of you losing, but this is true for any 50-50, true 50-50 event. And so I wrote a little routine out here that does a little randomizing, and I'll do 100,000 tries. And each try will consist of doing 100 bets, right? Or 100 whatever, 100 flips of the coin or whatever you got. This is the formula for picking between 1 and 100 inclusive. And this was just my checker to make sure that I'm getting good randomization on that 1 to 100. So if V is greater than 50, so 51 to 100, then I'm going to put n equals n plus 1, so that's a counter. So out of those 100, I'm going to repeat for the 100, right? So I keep picking 100 random numbers, and I'm going to say how many of those are over 50, and that'll give me an end result. So if it was a particular run was, let's just say, even, like 50 were over 50 and 50 were under 50, so a true 50-50, then that n would be 50, and I'll go ahead and populate the 50th row, column 2, and add to itself. And I'll do that 100,000 times. So if I get 47 wins, or I get 52 wins, then, out of that particular try, then that's what will populate. And so I'm going to count those. And it should be a distributive pattern. And I already ran it, and it takes a little while to run. But the results are over here, and you can see I've got a pretty even, and it is a random Monte Carlo type draw or whatever here. So it's pretty random all the way up to the 100. So I've got good distribution on my random numbers. But what you'll notice is that out of the 100,000 runs, one of them had 29 losses. I thought 29 wins, I'll call it. It doesn't really matter. You can invert this because it's a 50-50. But there were none that had 28. So this is way outside the bounds with 100,000. Now, if you go to 1,000,000, maybe you get one of these. But 1, 2 of those, 2 at 30, and then you start to get the higher numbers. And of course, 50 is going to be your most common one, top of the distribution graph. This is like a histogram, right? And then on the high side, very similar in that 70 wins. There were 3 technically because there was a 29. You could have had maybe 1 at 71, but it didn't show up this time. But as a percentage, this is 3 out of 100,000, so that makes you at the 99.997%. So in general, if it's truly a 50-50 game and you're getting 70% right, you're in that top, whatever the heck that is. That's way out there in the Sigma world. Some interesting numbers are 97 percentage ends up being at 60%. So that's, beyond 2 sigmas worth of deviation. So you're in the top, 5% there, or top 3%, right? Top 3% is a 60% picker on a 50-50 proposition. Actually, 95 is the sigma, not 97. I kind of screwed that up, sorry. That's why 5% is at 59. 66% is in between 52 and 53. So a third of the people, you need 52.4, right, with a minus 110 payout to break even. So yeah, that's why 2/3 of the people aren't winners on a particular season or whatever, and 1/3 of the are winners because 60, you're in the top 66 percentile if you get 53 correct. So you can see sometimes, and this is not money line, this is ATS type 50-50 betting, that yeah, what you are and what where you are relative to how your true averages is, and you need to get a number of hands in to get what you truly are. But if you see somebody at 65%, either they're really really good, or they just haven't had a big enough sample size yet. Most people fit, like true winners are up here. You're beating 9 out of 10 of the population, and you're really trying to beat other people. So that's showing you're in the top 10%. But if you're in the top 10%, you're at 57 percentile here, and this is what it's worth if you're betting those at $5 5-unit bets or whatever. Then you're getting $4.50 in profit if you win. So you're making 44 out of 100. So 100 bets, you make 44 units. So you can be quite profitable. You're almost making, you're making 44% on your money if you've got 57% correct. And you can see that breaks between 5 point, the 52 and 53 is where you break even. So 52.4 is the real number. But you can see that as every percentage you start to grow on ROI, and if you ever get up into 80, 90, 100% ROI on that $100 on that 100 bets, right? 100 in terms of units, then you're doing tremendously well. All right, so that was my quick demonstration, just to show you, see where you stand. Good luck.